What's up, y'all? This your girl Monica, and you're rocking with BobbyPin.com. Hey, what's up, world? It's your girl Bobby Pin, and we are here with the one and only Monica. How are you? I'm good. I'm very good. Awesome. You just put on an amazing show here at the Baltimore Soundstage. 22 years in the game. That's not easy to do. Explain to me what you think your staying power is. Like, what makes Monica still relevant today? I think just being honest with the people. They know that I'm just like them and I don't see myself any different. We all going through a lot of the same things. We just got different occupations. So I think my approach towards it has always been that, you know, even as a young girl, I just sang about the things that I believed in or whatever I was experiencing. So I think that authenticity is really the only difference. I never switched up who I was to try to acclimate myself to whatever else was taking place. I was just always transparent with them and honest with them. Absolutely, which is what we hear in the title track from your new upcoming project, Code Red. The hook is so funny. Y'all don't want to hear that weak shit no more. Tell me a little more about that tell me more about that song, and then definitely the project overall. What can we expect from this one? Code Red is an album where I kind of bridge the gap between that old soul R&B that we know and love and kind of what they're accustomed to now, because I enjoy both, you know, and I always say that on stage because a lot of people that come from the era that I do, sometimes it's misunderstood that we have an issue with what is taking place now, and that's not the case. We just want you to know and understand both, because the music, especially even of the 90s, and especially if you go further back than that, you know, like the people that paved the way, there would be no Just Right for Me had it not been for Smokey Robinson. There would be no Everything to Me, which is my record that Missy produced and Jasmine Sullivan wrote, had it not been for Denise Williams. If you give them that history, they can respect both parts of it. So Code Red was just me saying, hey, look, we got to always pay respects to those that paved the way. This is a whole genre of music that still deserves a certain amount of love and attention. So it's been really fun just kind of moving it around and doing the old with the new and seeing how people feel about it as we go state to state. Yes, and you did a great job of that tonight. Your background singers were able to incorporate some old school, and it led into some of your newer projects, so that was really fun. I have to ask, and that was a perfect segue, in fact, Tyrese is on his sort of crusade to save R&B, and he challenged R&B singers to put out projects with no hip-hop features. Do you have any thoughts on that? No, I think it's dope. I mean, that would be easy for me to do because I did it for years. You know what I'm saying? But I also have a lot of... No, I mean, I'm not saying it in that way. I'm saying that there are so many, a lot of my biggest records, no one else is on them. And I thank God for the opportunity to make music that I still sing Angel of Mine. People don't realize I did Before You Walk at 14. I did Why I Love You So Much at 14. Angel of Mine at 16. You know, these are all songs that no one else is on. So when I do put someone on a record, it's just because I too love hip hop and I embody like a lot of different types of music. People don't think about it, but my first record was over LL's Backseat of My Jeep. Okay. You know, Just One of Them Days is over the top of that. So I've always mixed and merged to both, but I know exactly what Tyrese means and what he's doing when he says, I challenge you. When you listen to an amazing record like Shame, and it's just him, and he's just singing like crazy, I know exactly what he's doing when he says do that, but I know that he doesn't have an issue, like, for instance, with Just Right for Me. It has Wayne on it. I'm sure he doesn't mind a record like that, because at the end of the day, he knows that for many, many, many years, I've done records. Oh, yeah, always. So I've always kind of welcomed both. Absolutely. Now, you gave us a lot of history in your background. Like you said, you released your first singles when you were 14. I didn't know that Queen Latifah was your manager during that time. I got signed when I was only 12 years old, so I started working on the record, and Dana was actually in Atlanta, and Chili gave her... she calls her Dana. That's her name, even though she is the queen of all things, even production and everything else. But she heard my record through Chili. And so my cousin has always managed me, and she called us, and she's like, you know what, let me come in, let me help you guys. I'm going to co-manage you, and I'm going to help you really get things on the right track. And that's exactly what she did. And that's when I started. I played Marissa, I think her name was, on Living Single. Yes, I was her little annoying cousin on the show. And, you know, she just opened a lot of doors. And even though we didn't continue the business relationship, our friendship has never ended. It's always continued. Awesome. So I have to ask some questions about her. She was just in The Wiz. She was nominated for an Emmy for her role in Bessie, and she was recently tapped by Lee Daniels to be in his new Empire spinoff star. What do you think of her success transitioning from a musician to an actress?
It was predestined. When you see a career like hers and a life like hers and all of the different things she's been through even before getting to this point, a higher power was always in control. But that's something that I knew from the first time that I met her. It was we were in LA and she wanted to hear me sing in person, and it was just like this instant connection. So over the years, as I've seen her do things and really start a lot of careers, but also like further hers in a way that you just would have never imagined when you look back and you singing Ladies First and you watching her rock all her little hi-hats and, you know, rep for the sisters. She's just always been one of the dopest artists around. But I think one of the keys to that, too, goes back to what we talked about, authenticity. One thing about Dana, she ain't going to be nobody but her. And if you don't like it, you got to deal with it. If you ever meet her, you will quickly understand that.
Yeah, she's been very consistent over the year.
Because she's just her.
Yeah. That's beautiful, guys. So the whole theme that we're following right now is authenticity. Be you. It's okay. So Grammys are coming up. We just had the nominees announced. You are a Grammy Award winner. You won for Boy Is Mine with Brandy. A couple of people took to Twitter. They were a little upset about not being nominated. What do you think it takes to be nominated for a Grammy? Like, does that question make sense, I guess? Like, do you understand what I'm asking?
I stopped trying to figure out what it takes and just make the music. You know, there's so many deadlines and political things that prevent people from making it. It doesn't mean that your music is not great, and it does not mean that at some point you won't eventually receive a Grammy. You know, I've always been the type, I don't watch charts. I don't follow sales constantly because it will make you crazy. You have to remember why you got in the game. And if you got in the game for that, then you've already lost. You know, this music thing is so much bigger than the politics of it. So you kind of have to remove yourself as an artist, or you spend most of your time frustrated and mad. And I just refuse to be that way, you know, and that's not saying anything negative about those who are like that. I think sometimes you have to kind of step outside that part of it and stay focused on the ultimate goal, and things will just start coming to you as they're supposed to.
Absolutely. Amazing words of advice. Is there anything you want to leave our viewers with? Anything I didn't mention?
More than a thank you, I mean, thank you for 20 years of just being supportive. And to every person that's already pre-ordered the album, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you are really who I make the music for. And when I came in the game, I came in it just for that reason. I started off using a corded mic singing gospel records in my mom's church choir. So this is still a dream come true every day. And I'm just very grateful. December 18th, y'all pick up Code Red.
December 18th. Oh my God, she's so humble. Her energy is so awesome. This has been an amazing experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Monica Brown, everybody.